Today I'd like to introduce you to my friend, the Parasol Mushroom, better known as Macrolepiota Procera. It's got a long skinny stem, it's got gills underneath the cap, and it's got a creamy white spore print, which is a good identifier to let you know that you have the correct mushroom. One of the lookalikes is the green-spored parasol, which is poisonous. If you have all the identifying features and you have a white spore print, you know you have the correct parasol mushroom. So how do you identify it? Well, it's tall, and it's got a light brown cap with an umbo, a dark brown nipple in the middle. It's got a bulbous base, and it enjoys growing in interface areas where fields meet woods, like at the edge of a garden. It likes growing in mixed duff, like pine needles and mulch and soil and leaf litter, kind of all combined together. And that's exactly where it was growing in my garden. Another distinctive feature is the annulus, which is a ring, and on the parasol mushroom, the annulus is free-floating on the stem. You can actually slide it up and down with your fingers. The cap is the best part to eat. The stems are kind of fibrous, so I chop up the base and I chop up the stem, and I either put those in different places around the garden, or like what I'm doing today, I'm going to put it in the compost, because the mycelium will grow and thread through the compost, and then when you use it in the next season, you'll be helping to spread parasol mushrooms. The leafcutter ants for millions of years have been growing different types of Macrolepiota mushrooms. It's a really interesting thing. You should check out a documentary on that. And then I brought them into the kitchen to get ready for dinner. Oh, and I made a puppet! So, to get ready for dinner, I sliced up the mushroom cap, and then I sliced up some green onions from the garden, some spring onions. The other two mushroom caps I put in a paper bag and put them in the fridge, and they'll be good for a couple of weeks. I turned the heat on medium-high and heated up the pan, and then I put the mushrooms in a hot, dry pan. That way, since mushrooms are high percentage water, the heat drives out the moisture, so that when you add butter or whatever seasonings, the mushrooms will absorb that better. Rather than adding the mushrooms to an oily pan, then you end up with greasy mushrooms. So then I added the spring onions and a big scoop of garlic and stirred it all up and got it to a nice medium brown, and then set it aside. Then I heated up a regular packet of ramen noodles, because I am a cheap date. And I also take joy in the fact that for about 25 cents, I can have a delicious meal that's high in protein, high in medicinal benefits, and actually really healthy. So I made the ramen noodles just like normal, and then after adding the seasoning at the end, I added a scoop of the mushroom mix. I would have added the whole thing to mine, but I had a couple of surprise guests at the last minute, and I had to make them noodles as well, so I had to share. So there you have it. A nice, hot, steaming, brown, soupy bowl of delicious and nutritious mushroom noodles.
Parasol. Parasol.